Okay, I go.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Music and the Message Show.
A weekly talk show to uplift, inspire, educate, and entertain. We are so happy that you are joining with us today.
I'm your host, Rosevelt.
And I'm Jeff, the Kronk to her Yzma.
A llama?
Yeah,
right?
Weird.
Okay.
Today, we have a very special episode.
We're excited. It's a little flashback.
A little throwback Thursday.
But before we get started, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you guys get notified every single week we post a brand new video.
And make sure that you subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah.
Taking us with you on the go. During the YouTube broadcast, we'd love to interact with you. So make sure that you comment in the live chat.
Make sure you
like, love, or laugh.
Shows how I feel with a click.
All right, let's do this.
Do it.
From Event Lab Studios, welcome to the Music and the Message Show. A talk show with dad and daughter duo Rosevelt and Jef Rawls, featuring music that will uplift and a message that will educate and inspire, bringing you guests that are making a difference in the lives of abused children. Here are your hosts, Rosevelt and Jef Rawls.
We appreciate you joining us this week. If you are new here, welcome.
Yeah, those first timers, hello, enjoy your stay. Come on in, the water's warm.
What?
I won't tell you why. Roosevelt, can we pause for just a moment and answer an FAQ?
What does that mean?
A frequently asked question.
Okay,
You know, there's
sure.
a lot of people that are brand new and want to know how you got started doing all of this.
Well, as everyone knows, I am a Childhelp Youth Ambassador, and as I got started with them and involved with them, I started to learn more of their statistics. Yeah. And one thing that I am really strong about is my 5 too many. Yep. That 5 kids die every single day because of child abuse and neglect, and I have 5 brothers, and even though I came from a wonderful home, it's hard to imagine that that does happen to a lot of people, and you can go to 5toomany.com to learn more about my 5 Too Many challenge and childhelp.org to learn more about the statistics and how you can help and how if you are in need of help, you can get help.
Yeah, one of the things that caught my attention and why we even got involved with this is every 10 seconds child abuse is reported. That on top of 5 kids dying every day, that really kind of brought, that we know of, right? That kind of really brought, not just Roosevelt, but our entire family. So about a few years ago, I was challenged to raise $1 million, which is a lot,
to help child abuse to stop and help the children of Childhelp. And so I thought it would be a good idea to bring the community together and do the music and the message, have a concert, share my message as I just did, and bring some music to it, sing for you guys.
Yeah, have a fun community, bring that community together. It's amazing. You did an amazing job the first year.
Too.
Oh, stop. Stop. Okay. What ended up turning into kind of a double effort to help both Childhelp and
Operation Underground Railroad. Our first year, we heard from Sara and Yvonne, the founders
they've been on the show.
Childhelp.
They've been right here on the show.
And we had Elizabeth Smart as the keynote speaker.
And the music part was amazing too. We're getting some music in the background. Some
we
background
had
music.
William Joseph, Joey Johnson.
Who
else?
Yeah. The Chandler Children's Choir, they sounded amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the ALA dance team was amazing too.
Yeah, there was in the finale, it was like 150 kids, choirs
awesome.
just lined everywhere. So it was amazing.
Yeah, of course that was pre-COVID,
right.
so we had to do things a little different in 2020.
Yeah, this year instead of having an indoor event, we took it outdoors and had an incredible turnout.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I think we were really surprised at how many people showed up.
Yeah, we had about 200 cars show up, plus what were we doing also?
Yeah, we were streaming it online, and there was about 200 people watching it as well,
it was
online.
Pretty amazing. And today we are going to show you highlights from both of these events.
Yep, and we're going to share these amazing messages of Elizabeth Smart,
Congressman Andy Biggs,
Sara O'Meara and Yvonne Federson,
and Coach Dar.
Yeah, she was amazing to work with. Yeah,
we should. I think we should have her on the show. We're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And some amazing, like not just Coach Dar, but also, do you remember who 2019 was? The co-host?
Who is it again?
He's unforgettable.
Just kidding.
He's unforgettable. Corey McCloskey.
Yeah, he was amazing. That was so funny when he brought the wings out.
Yeah.
Oh my
some
goodness.
crazy stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, and we had the keynote speaker of the last one that we just did, Tim Ballard.
Yep.
He has rescued over 4,000 slaves from human trafficking around the world.
Yeah, today's episode is going to be less about us and more of the important highlights from these important events.
Don't worry, you will catch us a couple songs from the event.
Yeah, we're going to get a couple of extra songs, not just one.
A few. We hope you enjoy this recap.
This recap.
Yeah,
I want to make sure it's not recap. It's recap.
This recap.
Don't you love teleprompters?
Oh, we love it. Recap of the Music and the Message fundraisers event.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Hi everyone, thank you so much for attending tonight's second annual The Music and the Message. I'm so grateful for everyone who is here, both in person and everyone who is watching it online. I'd like to share a little bit why I put this concert together, is to share inspiring music and a message to help the children. Tonight, we will be hearing from the message first. We are here to help every child that is in need of help and comfort. I came up with the acronym CHILD, and I hope it helps you as it helps me. C, choose to care. We each have a choice to care and help for these children, and some kids don't have a choice about their situations. By being here, you choose to care. H, how can I help? I hope you'll ask yourself this question every day. You can donate money, donate your time, or you can spread the message and let the kids know that there is help. I'm an individual. One person can make a difference, but when a community comes together like this, we can make an even bigger difference. L, learn to love. When you love the children as Childhelp and OUR do, you learn to see that no matter what a child has been through, that they need unconditional love. D, decide today to do. Look for opportunities to give, learn, and help. I hope by the end of this event, you will be inspired to do something and help each and every child. Every effort matters.
This is going to be an amazing night. We came out, we tried to do a little secret mission for you, but truly tonight is going to be so special. It is the music and the message. And you're going to hear music. Music opens up our heart. It really transforms us. It goes to our soul, places that we cannot go. And then the message you're going to hear tonight is just so incredible from Childhelp and OUR and all the things that you're going to hear. And I just wanted to say, Jef and Rosevelt and everyone that put this on, as we go today, thank you, because this is going to be such a special night, and I'm honored to do this with you.
Every 10 seconds, child abuse is reported in the United States, and every day an average of 5 kids die because of abuse or neglect. This is 5 too many, and that's one of the things that Rosevelt, she's got her 5 too many campaign. Likewise, every 30 seconds, somewhere around the world, a child is trafficked and sold. In just a moment, we will have a moment of silence. During that time, will you please use your mind's eye to look for a child who needs help? At this moment, they are in a very dark place, scared and being hurt. Many right here in our community. And right now, all of them need protection. They need their love. They need loving arms around them. They need light to guide good people to help them. Please join me in a moment of silence and help bring the light to the children. Thank you.
But we're here tonight to celebrate what we are as Americans. this country, divinely ordained and founded, our Constitution designed to protect everyone, including children, those who are victims. We want everyone to be able to fulfill the destiny they have, the full measure of their creation. That's why these two organizations are so vital and so important. And thank you for being here for that. I pray and hope that tonight our hearts are touched and filled with the joy that we have of the freedoms of living in this country, but also with the sincere responsibility that comes with those freedoms to help those who are in need, who are victims. Thanks for letting me be here for just a few minutes. God bless each one of you, and let's work hard to make sure that the scourge of human trafficking and child abuse can be brought to an end.
You know, we often talk about how we have to go and help, and we should help, but these are women that actually do it every day, and they are role models to me. And I pray that we could all be a quarter of what they are. I pray that we get to do the things that they do and we continue to help their mission. And I pray tonight that after you hear from them and you see the video, that you open up your heart, that you open up your ability to serve and also give so that we could help children out there every single day. And I often say, when you hear everything that you're going to hear today from these amazing women and everything tonight, take it into your mind, move it into your heart and feel it, really feel it, and then put it into your hands and do something about it. Because that's how we affect change. And that's how they affected change from the moment that they saw those kids years ago, and they have not stopped. So tonight, be inspired by my mentors and the true angels that God has put here of Sara and Yvonne, the founders of Childhelp. I love you so much.
But here we are at the Music and the Message. Tonight's music is dedicated to a cause that we spent a lifetime fighting for, the eradication of child abuse. The message is simple. When we look out for every boy and girl in our lives, we, you and we, create a whole country of concerned citizens living for the love of a child. We did start out with 11 orphans that were known as throwaways. And today, our philanthropic vision at Childhelp has now served close to 11 million abused and neglected children. But her voice is not just for angelic singing. Not at all. Rosevelt speaks up for boys and girls in the shadow of abuse. She's visited our programs, and she understands the whole magic of our team that work with art, animal-assisted, recreational, and traditional therapies. She's seen the ponies at our programs and the bright paintings that line the walls of our centers. But she's also old enough to understand how these children have really suffered. It breaks our heart that a beautiful young girl bursting with talent and joy like Rosevelt has to know about the cruel statistics of child abuse. Just like Jef told you, every 10 seconds a child is being abused. Think of you're sitting in the cars and out on your seats right now. Think of how many 10 seconds you've been here. And think of how many children have been abused. And yes, 5 children die every day of abuse, but those are the ones that they know without question die with abuse. There are many more.
Some years. School was my safe place. What do I do now? That was an actual call to our hotline from a little girl quarantined at home with her abuser during the COVID-19 lockdown. I'm a first responder working in a hospital. My daycare center shut down, and I have no family nearby. Where do I take my children to keep them safe? That was a nurse reaching out to our Childhelp phone for resources. I was sexually abused as a child, and with my school shutting down, I'd rather die than return home where my abusive stepfather still lives with my mother. That was a college freshman who was suicidal and needed our intervention to stay alive and fight for another day. From the littlest child begging for help in the midst of brutal beating, to desperate parents begging for safety, to survivors needing support now more than ever, Childhelp has seen double-digit leaps in calls to the Childhelp National Child Abuse Hotline. At the peak of the pandemic, we saw a 43% increase in our calls, in our texts, and chats compared to the same time last year. We knew we'd have to reach out like never before. Our team launched a media storm across America to ensure that our agency was a household name when children need us the very most. Our goal was to blanket America with a message of safety, hope, and love. Just as we had our greatest outreach and need ever, we were told that we had to cancel all of our biggest fundraisers that paid for our essential programs and services. If only abuse stopped when everything else did. But unfortunately, it didn't. Our hope is that we can rescue children hiding in the shadows of abuse. This is where we need all of you. If you're not involved, we'd like for you to get involved. First, because those mandated reporters are not able to find these hurting children. We need you to become mandated reporters of the heart. Visit childhelp.org to learn the signs and symptoms of abuse. We need you, and we thank those of you who are here who are already involved in Childhelp. And if you are touched tonight to get involved, please let us know, because we'd love to have you a part of our Childhelp family.
When you don't move the mountains, I needed you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you.
If you have already done something, you bought a T-shirt, you visited the food trucks, you Venmo'd
Online.
something, anything, could you please like honk your horn, flash your lights? I just want to see what's going on over there. Woo! Who's giving a little bit more, a little bit extra? You've gone the extra mile. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at all those lights.
We see you.
Man, that makes me happy. Thank you. Now, Rosevelt, I know you're not one to really kind of boast about yourself, but here's one thing as to why I wanted to show that, and I know that this is kind of a little bit awkward, even as a father of like, hey, everybody, look at my daughter, look how wonderful she is. The point that I'm trying to make is that so many times we get the question, what can I do, right? What can I do? All of us have talents in a variety of different areas. You know, I've been a comedian for 25 years. And tonight I've lost most of it. No, I'm just kidding. You guys be the deciding factor of that. But each of us have different talents, right? Everyone's got a different talent. And when you can connect your talent in some way to something good, then you can make a difference in this world. And I'm grateful that you are making a difference.
Thanks, Dad.
Love you.
I love you too.
Love you.
Where'd you go? Oh. Thank
We're
you guys.
really proud of you. And she's just an example of what you could do out there watching. So all of you have a chance to make a difference. She's a beautiful example that when you take action, great things could happen.
I'm always honored that and grateful that people would show up to listen to me talk about what is the worst thing in the world. And so I know it's hard. It's hard to hear it. It's hard to engage it. And so thank you for engaging this. This is the fastest growing criminal enterprise on the planet. There are more people enslaved today than ever before in the history of the world. It was not eradicated. It's reared its ugly head. It's a different form. And we will not stop it until all of us rise up and do something about it. And you might see some imagery up here on the screen. We train and deploy canine digital detection dogs. Now, you've heard of bomb-sniffing dogs and drug dogs, but probably few of you have heard about digital media sniffing dogs. These pedophiles, and by the way, we're the #1 demand in the world, this country, for the consumption of child exploitation material, child rape videos. And so these pedophiles that exist and live amongst us, they're getting smarter, so we've got to outsmart them. And they're hiding their material on tiny thumb drives, hiding them in carpets, hiding them in floorboards, so human beings can't find them. Which is why we send out Chip and Frankie and Doug and Champ and Lucy and all the other dogs that are deployed. We got to get one to Arizona. We're working on that. And these dogs go in and they sniff out that digital media during a search warrant. And in some cases, in many cases, that's the only hope that a child has to be rescued, because the only evidence that that child exists and that that child is being abused and where they're being abused is on that little thumb drive hidden under a rug or in the carved out nook of a book. These dogs are heroes. They'll go in and they'll rescue those kids and they'll put those predators behind bars. So that's one of the tools that we're deploying. Another one, and the problem with all through my career, when we're going into these search warrants and taking the computers and taking the iPhones, is it takes time to take it to a lab. It was like 6 to 8 months sometimes to wait. If we arrested the guy too soon, before the digital forensics were done, then we wouldn't be ready for trial and that guy would get acquitted. And so we couldn't arrest him. We would walk away from these perverted pedophiles who we knew were hurting kids, but the law was the law and we couldn't do anything about it. This is why we came up with the idea of the mobile labs. So the mobile labs roll up, and during that search warrant, during the interrogation, during the search, as they're bringing the digital media into the mobile lab, they're doing the downloads, the forensic analysis immediately. So by the time the interrogation is done, they have enough evidence wrapped up, ready to go, and this guy walks out in handcuffs after the search warrant. The Congress passed a law, the Adam Walsh Child Protect Act, which for the first time allowed U.S. agents to go overseas in search of American pedophiles who were abusing children. And the law allowed us, and still allows us, to hold those people accountable for what they're doing to children overseas as if they had committed that crime on U.S. soil. So it was a very big deal. It was an amazing law, and they sent us undercover to find those American pedophiles. Now, the one problem that I had, the unintended consequence that was torturous for me, is the only way to get in there to find the bad guys is first find the kids who are being sold. And that's why we go undercover pretending to be pedophiles or traffickers. And it wasn't hard for us to find those kids. But I had a limited time, and if I couldn't find the American attached to those kids, I had to, by mandate of Congress, by the laws, I had to come home. It was so scary, and I told my wife, I remember calling her saying, what do I do? They want me to come home. And she says to me, do you think if you stayed, you could rescue even one child? I said, almost for sure. She said to me, and she made me feel bad. She said, well, why are you even asking this question? You need to quit your job. Well, we went back and forth, and she was strong and I was not. And finally the debate ended. I remember in December of 2013, I remember when she's usually very, very sweet, my wife. But she grabbed me by the collars and she said to me, and I'll never forget, verbatim, she said, I will not let you jeopardize my salvation by not doing this. So that ended the debate, and Operation Underground Railroad was born. If you want to end, thank you. And you can use that line with your significant other anytime you're in a debate. It's a very effective line.
54 boys and girls aged 11 to 18 were ushered in for what had been billed as a sex party. They were given candy and drinks and told to wait in this small room.
This little 11-year-old boy, I remember,
he asked one of my operatives if they could give him some cocaine or something. He said, they usually give me something because I'm really scared.
By the time the deal was done, the alleged traffickers were set to make $25,000. That transaction was never completed. 25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen, all charged with child trafficking. The victims, 29 of whom are under 18, were evacuated, given medical exams, and placed in a rehabilitation center where specialists are working to undo the damage.
Right before I got in the boat, we had to walk by this room where the kids were, and they put their hand up. And I touched their hand and see that there's liberation now.
Liberating one child at a time.
That's the power of storytellers. And so we're grateful for all of you for being storytellers, for Rosevelt and Jef and everyone who's created this stage to be storytellers. That's what moves the needle. And some amazing storytellers watched that CBS News clip about 4 years ago, and they were curious about the last image that was shown. One of the most beautiful and simultaneously one of the most haunting images that I've ever seen. Our undercover cameras picked this up. A little 11-year-old girl believed in this moment that she was about to be raped once again. Beautiful because, in fact, she wasn't. Beautiful because within 3 to 5 minutes, the Colombian SWAT team was going to enter that place and take her out of that hell forever. And these Hollywood producers called us and said, who is she? What's her story? We explained how she was kidnapped by Kelly Suarez. You saw that in the CBS News clip. Unbelievable. Millions of kids stuck in slavery. How do they get into that black market? That's one of the most popular ways. So we went undercover, and the police told me, if you can't find Gardy, but if they try to sell you a child, say yes. And so we did when they asked if we wanted to buy a kid. And so they said, which one? Choose. And I didn't think it mattered. We just needed to do it to a sting operation to prove the concept, prove that they were, in fact, selling kids. And as I turned to look for a child, you're going to see that it got picked up on my colleague's camera. This little boy turned, and I felt like he chose me. And he walks up to me, and I pick him up, and I thought this was the one. I find out within moments that he has a little sister, or he has an older sister. And so we decided to take both of them. And we do the deal at a hotel several miles from the orphanage. This is a picture of the actual deal being done. It was a beautiful operation. The bad guys exposed who they were, sold us the kids, and everybody got arrested outside the hotel. And it was awesome. We were so excited until about 45 minutes later, we get a phone call from the orphanage, the false orphanage. And we get the news we're dreading. All the kids are fine. We got them all out. That's great. But Gardy's not here. We believe he was here, but he was sold, and we don't know where. And now I have to have the most difficult conversation of my life when I go and tell the father, guess no. He's waiting in another hotel, believing, knowing I'm going to walk through the door any minute with his son's hand in mine. And I walk in empty-handed. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and we just both start crying. And I sit down with him, and through our tears, I'm able to eke out what doesn't seem like that great of news comparatively in the moment, that we did get 28 kids out. And there's something special about this guy, Guess No Marty. He pops his head up, and he says, why are you crying? You just told me we saved 28 kids. I said, yeah, I'm worried about the one we didn't save. He says, you're missing the point. He said, if my son hadn't been kidnapped, no effort would have been organized and made to rescue these 28 kids. And then he said maybe the most profound thing I've ever heard anyone say. He said, if I have to lose my son so that these 28 kids can be rescued, That is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And I wish I could say that where roles reversed and it was my own child. But I couldn't. But he could. And to prove he did in fact think that and believe that, the next day I went with him to the police station, and he said to the police, he said, if you can't find the parents of these children who were rescued in the name of my son, then I will be their father. He went home that day with 8 of those little babies. And and by the way, he didn't know how he was going to financially cover this. We got donors to do that. We intentionally go to those places. We seek out the darkest countries and the darkest corners of those countries. There's nowhere we won't go to bring light into that darkness. But here's the thing, is we can't produce that light on our own. But you can. This is why we need you to be the storytellers, to be the light givers and producers. And I'm not just talking about money. Of course, we need resources. But I'll tell you what, I'd never seen so much light or felt it when we prayed in the miracle of Jacob Justice and the camera and the rescue. We prayed in that rescue. And probably many of you have participated in that prayer. It's light from all areas and all ways. And our promise to you is that if you keep generating that light, then we will continue to take that light into the darkest corners to liberate as many of God's children as we can. And with that, I say thank you, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
And when we were listening to Tim, I mean, that is just so moving what he is doing, and everyone at OUR. And, you know, the world is so divided in a lot of ways. Yeah. You just saw how when we come together and we be light, we can be the unity that the world needs, and we could serve and we could help so many people, and that's what tonight is all about, and that's what Sara and Yvonne and Tim and the whole group is doing. And it takes all of us, like he said, being the light, and that's how we could unite together. So we need you to act, and we need you to come together so that we can continue to keep serving.
And here's one of the things, you know, I know some of you might think, I can only give like $10. That $10 was somebody else's $10. Right. Rosevelt had that child, C.H.I.L.D, and I means I am an individual, and I can't contribute what I can. And that $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever it is, when you add all of that up, you're going to see what that all adds up to here in just a moment. But that little individual is going to contribute to the success of the whole. And when you can raise the voice of someone like Rosevelt with this music and the message, she's able to then magnify that $10, whatever it is. She's able to then take this message, magnify it to the wonderful people like you who come here, who have a heart, who are here to support, and able to do then some amazing, amazing things. Let's first of all bring back Tim Ballard and Sara O'Meara and Yvonne Federson. Please welcome them both to the stage. I believe this is the first time these two groups are meeting. Is this the first time we're meeting? Yay!
Oh, I love... I mean, look at the dream team right here. People who took a chance to go and make a difference in people's lives.
And we also have Jim and Carol Hebbets, also part of Childhelp, the Hebbets Company. And we want to bring up some very, very special people. Also, we have Janet and Terry Turk's 3 granddaughters. Will you guys come on out here? We have a little special something. Rosevelt, please come along. It looks as if tonight we have raised roughly $70,000 for both organizations. $35,000 awarded to Childhelp, $35,000 awarded to Operation Underground Railroad.
Thinking we never got a chance to meet Tim before. What a miraculous human being he is. So Carol and I think we should round this up to an even 100,000.
Oh, all right? My
so
God.
Each side gets 50. What do you say? Is that okay?
That would be amazing.
What do you mean, is that okay? Ladies and gentlemen, is that okay?
Oh, that's
is that okay? What? Whoa. Wow. That's the Hebbets. And that is heart. The
Right.
Venmo is still open. If you yourself have the same heart and same pocketbook that the Turks, the Hebbits, and many, many others have, if you have that and you want to make tonight even more significant, please, 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 the night is not over. Can I stress that enough?
The night
is not over.
You just saw Tim and talk about giving basically his everything, and his wife was so gracious to say go and serve. And you saw Sara and Yvonne. I mean, people say, oh, I can't wait till I retire and I'm just going to coast. They literally continue to live their mission, and I hope that every day you understand that your purpose never retires. Your purpose never retires, meaning there is no time where we just get to let go. Our purpose is where our gift and the world's needs come together. So find that for yourself, and you will continue to be lit like Sara and Yvonne and Tim, and continue to serve the world, and Rosevelt and everything that she's doing, and Jef, everything that you continue to do. I mean, it takes an army to put this on, but it's people that continue to choose to serve. So never stop giving and never stop serving, because that's what the world needs.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And again, every dollar, every ticket sale, all of that, we graciously give in humility. Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah.
If you are a business owner and there's opportunity to sponsor events like this, we please ask you, anything that you can help, because what that does is it magnifies that $100, $1,000, whatever your sponsorship money is, it magnifies the voice here, so that each and every ticket that we sold here tonight, Roosevelt's desire was that 100% of ticket sales and all of the extras goes to these two organizations, and we're so grateful for our sponsors. So
let's do this.
I think we need to bring some
time
music
to have
on.
fun.
Let's do some music. Ladies and gentlemen, please honk your horn, put your hands together for William Joseph.
I was sitting on the side of the stage and I was listening to these stories, and I don't know about you, but my heart was pounding, and I was so inspired by many messages that were shared tonight. But as I listened to Tim Ballard and his incredible story and his courage to tell a story and to choose others instead of himself, I'm just so inspired. And then I look at Sara and Yvonne, and I look at their courage, and I just started thinking about it, and I just thought, man, I want to be like that, and I want to make a difference. And it's not going to look like them, but I want to do it in my own way. And I suspect that a lot of you here are feeling something similar. I'm just moved, and what I realize is these people, what they have in common, in addition to courage, is that they give hope. And that's something that we need very, very badly right now. And I applaud them, and I stand with them, and I want to stand with them now. And I just want to share a song that I feel like expresses feelings of hope. It's one I wrote about a year ago, and it's called A New Hope. And I know that that's what they bring, and by all of us being here and being generous with our time and our means, we can bring hope to others and help bring them to a safe place. And so I just want to invite everyone, as I play this next song, to just open your hearts and just welcome a spirit of hope into your heart. Thank you.
acting numb to you. You think I'm losing faith. You pray at night that I won't leave you. To that I say no, no, no way. This is just an overcast face. Valleys and peaks, baby. Through it all, there's no need, baby, to doubt what you mean to me. And I wanna wrap you up, I wanna kiss your lips, I wanna make you feel wanted, and I wanna call you mine, wanna hold your hand forever and never let you forget it. Yeah, I wanna make you feel
1,000 times again. And we'll rise up high like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. Rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again. Thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I hope you guys had a wonderful night. And please take everything that you took away from this and change people's lives. We are here for the children, and let's make this day, every day, let's change children's lives. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Good night.
None of this would be possible if it was not for the sponsors. And so often people overlook maybe when we're calling out the sponsors, but every name that you just saw, please, go back, go visit them. They do a lot in our communities, and none of this would be possible. A lot of the things that we do in community would not be possible. So thank you to the sponsors, because that's what makes our communities great, is all the local businesses.
Yes. Yes, 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 for our sponsors.
Yes.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this week's recap. Of the Music and the Message event. Let us know in the comments what your favorite part was.
You can watch the entire 2.5-hour event on my channel, my YouTube channel, Rosevelt Sings.
Yeah, and if you would like to sponsor this show or the annual event, please click on the sponsor link at themusicandthemessageshow.com. Or you can click on the support us link and make a contribution to help us in our efforts to spread awareness. Every little bit helps.
Join us each and every week on Thursday at 3 p.m. for a brand new episode of the Music and the Message Show. You can also take us on the go with our podcast. Links and descriptions down below.
And follow us on all social media platforms, and please share us with your friends and family.
We hope that something from today's episode inspires you to make a difference in a child's life.
Thanks for being awesome. Now go help others be awesome.
See you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Music and the Message Show. Please join Rosevelt and Jef and today's guest in making a difference in the lives of children. Learn more at themusicandthemessageshow.com.